Alright, another episode of GCW. We're here, fuel number 153. And on the pre-show, Jet Chaos takes on Disco Inferno. And Disco gets the win in 150 with the Gourd Buster. Just to get Disco a win on the pre-show. Get him some momentum. Same thing right here, Bobby Duncombe Jr. gets a win over Bill Danon, who is Dave Sullivan in WCW. So, 26 right here. 3-on-3. Action in the pre-show as well. Chad Collier, a recent signing to GCW. Van Hammer and Ray, of course. Facing off against Reggie Riggs, the real luchador, and Mark Henry. And Mark Henry pins Chad Collier with Death from Above. And D'Lo Brown beats Kaz Hayashi on the pre-show as well. And then we open the show. So first things first, the commentators talk about tonight's matches. First of all, first featured match of the night is Owen Hart defending the Intercontinental Championship against Alex Wright. Alex Wright hasn't received a championship opportunity, an opportunity at the Intercontinental Championship since September 1994. Well, tonight he gets another opportunity almost a little over 3 years later. So let's see if he's improved any bit. His last opportunity, by the way, was, of course, September 94. It was against Kensuke Sasaki at the time, who was Intercontinental Champion, who would lose that Intercontinental Championship at Revolution to Sting, who is also featured in tonight's main event. He will be facing Shawn Michaels in the first round of the World Heavyweight Championship tournament. The winner will go on to face Mankind next week on Fuel. So we open the show with Triple H and Shawn Michaels cutting promo, and out comes Sting. Sting and Shawn is happening tonight, and they can't wait. In 88, Rey Mysterio defends the Cruiserweight Championship. Up next, he gets a win over Super Calo. Good action right here, 7:38, and Rey gets the win. Afterwards, Dean Malenko comes out and attacks Rey Mysterio, hits him with the chair, and then grabs the ring bell and hits him with the ring bell, just like he did to Eddie Guerrero last night on Aftermath, or at Aftermath. 75. The Dudleys get a promo, Bubba Ray and Devon, and out comes Bradshaw and Ron Simmons of the APA. And they'll face off in a tag team match next week, 56. Mankind cuts a backstage promo. He's either going to be facing Shawn Michaels or Sting in the semifinals next week. I believe it's next week. I'm not 100%. Next week, 92. Lance Storm gets a win next against Shanghai Pierce after interference from Diamond Dallas Page. A 75, a bit higher than I expected, but Storm, of course, carrying the match and carrying Shanghai Pierce to a pretty decent matchup. Gene Okerlund interviews the Impact players next. They are not done with the World Tag Team or the GCW Tag Team Championships. Shawn Michaels and Triple H are going down. They want a rematch for those belts once again at No Love Lost. A 54. Jesse Ventura and The Rock are backstage. Rock versus Triple H is officially going to be happening next week in the semifinals of the World Heavyweight Championship Tournament. Shawn or Sting against Mankind is also happening tonight. Or next week. I kind of spoiled a little bit because, I don't know, I wanted to say Shawn. There's no question who's winning tonight, is there? Alright, next up, Eddie Guerrero cuts a promo. And Dean Malenko thinks it's over between Malenko and Eddie. But Eddie's not done with Malenko. He wants revenge. And he will stop at nothing to get it. A 67. Owen Hart successfully defends the Intercontinental Championship against Alex Wright. A pretty decent match here. With two very underrated in-ring performers of their time. Owen Hart, probably top 5 ever, in my opinion, in terms of technical mastery. He is definitely in my top 5 wrestlers. And Alex Wright is very underrated. As an in-ring performer, Alex Wright could go. He wasn't the best promo, but he could work. A 75 right here. Then we get a promo vignette for Raven. In the shadows of the eldest, the king seeks glory elsewhere, nevermore. 47. And then to hype up the crowd again, The Rock cuts a promo and out comes Triple H. That's happening next week, the semifinals of the World Heavyweight Championship Tournament, in 93. And then we get our main event, Shawn Michaels and Sting. They have great chemistry, which is fantastic. Shawn rolls up Sting, gets the win, and it gets a 90. And afterwards we get a little bit of handshake from Shawn and Sting. Sting offers the hand. Shawn shakes it. 88. A 90. I think it's our best fuel since the brand split. Not going to be complaining about that. Well, that was the episode of Fuel. We've still got an episode of Ignition to get to, so I'll be right back in just one moment with Thursday Night Ignition. Alright, we're here on Fuel. Fuel? No, we're here on Ignition. Ignition number 21. And commentators open the show, throw it down to the card. There's not really a lot that's being said about the card. The only match that is announced is Satoshi Kojima versus Taz, and that's our opening matchup. The main event is to come. It's going to be booked on the show, so there's no graphic for that one. But opening contest is Satoshi Kojima versus Taz, and it's going to come right after this. So we open the show with Stone Cold Steve Austin cutting a promo after his win last night, or 2 nights ago, at Aftermath. Talks about Shane Douglas, talks about Dustin Rhodes, and out comes Dustin Rhodes. They exchange words, Austin and Rhodes, and then out comes Shane Douglas, and then finally, out comes the Big Show. And yeah, we got a confrontation 4-way. So yeah, let's go right into our opening matchup. It's Satoshi Kojima versus Taz. And Satoshi Kojima versus Taz gets a really good rating. Kojima gets the win with the Koji Cutter in 9:48. And Kojima wins. Afterwards, Taz beats down Satoshi Kojima, pissed, of course, at losing tonight and losing 2 nights ago to Perry Saturn in the 4-way. 55. We get a Val Venus promo video. His debut is coming soon. DX cuts a promo and out comes JJ Dillon. They're complaining, of course. And Dillon books a 4-way tag team elimination match next week. So a team versus a team versus a team versus a team. And it's an elimination match. And it is the number 1 contender for the World Tag Team Championships. And the Billy Gunn and Road Dogg are in that match. 56. JJ Dillon catches Steve Austin backstage and he tells him, tonight you're going to be teaming with Dustin Rhodes to face off against Shane Douglas and the Big Show in our main event. And 86. 5-on-5 tag team action is up next. Rikishi, Grandmaster Sexay, Scotty 2 Hotty, Jeff and Matt Hardy versus Fit Finlay, Fabulous Holly Cousins of Charming Crash Holly and Bombastic Bob Holly, and Gato and Jado. And Jeff Hardy gets the win, pinning Bombastic Bob with the Swanton Bomb. So let's look at our performances. Matt Hardy with a 54. I'm fine with that. Jeff with a 66. I'm very happy with that. Hardy with a 56. Grandmaster Sexay with a 64. Rikishi with a 62. Finlay with a 51, which is a little low, but whatever. And that's what I get for not really using him. Jado 68, Gato 66, Bombastic Bob 45, and Crash Ollie with a 40. Finlay, I say I'm not really using. He's featured a lot on Saturday Night's Wrestling, but that's not mainstream television, so that's whatever. 70 right here. Afterwards, Michael Cole interviews the winners of the match, the Hardys and Too Cool. He tells them both that both teams are going to be in the 4-way elimination match next week. And both teams wish each other good luck. A 45. Chris Benoit, the United States champion, cuts a promo next, and out comes the number 1 contender, Perry Saturn. They're officially going to be facing off for the United States Heavyweight Championship at No Love Lost. A 70 right here, or 77 right here. Canyon gets a win over Agia, remedying his loss 2 nights ago in the 4-way at Aftermath. A 70. Brian Pillman cuts a backstage promo. He talks about how much he loves GCW, how much he loves Global Championship Wrestling. He loves the fans. He loves his co-workers. And, yeah, he just talks about loving the business. He just talks about loving GCW. There's nothing creepy or weird going on about this. He just loves everything. And 81. And we're not going to turn the gimmick yet. Undertaker and Kane cut a backstage promo. They're talking about the 4-way elimination match next week. The number 1 contenders, it doesn't matter if it's Too Cool, it doesn't matter if it's the Hardys. They will all rest in peace. In 89. Then we get our main event. Steve Austin and Dustin Rhodes get the win over Shane Douglas and the Big Show when Austin pinned Douglas with the Stone Cold Stunner. And Austin and Dustin have excellent chemistry. That's amazing. I'm happy with that. And 93, well, if you look at their early WCW stuff, it would make sense. They both had similar styles at the time. By 1998, Austin's more of a brawler after his neck injury as a result of a botched pile driver, sit out tombstone pile driver from Owen Hart. And Dustin kept his technical style for his whole career. He's still using the same style today, which is he's a very good wrestler, very underrated in his time. A 93. And afterwards, Big Show choke slams Shane Douglas. We end the show with an 89. Two great shows for the weekly TV shows this week. Ignition and Fuel delivered. So we're happy with that. All right. And that's it for today's episode. Thank you guys for watching. And make sure to make sure to like if you like this video. Subscribe if you want more. We'll see you guys in the next one. And we're continuing on in 1998. All right. Have a good one. Goodbye.